Hello and welcome to UC Today. I'm Tom Wright, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Stuart from Slack. How's it going, Stuart?
Pretty good, Tom. Good to see you again. Hope all is well.
Yeah, all very good, thank you. It's great to have you, particularly during what's been such a busy few months for Slack. So I wonder if, to start with, you could talk us through how things are looking with Salesforce in terms of bringing the two companies together.
Yeah, of course. So, on the one hand, I think our mission remains intact. My job is to continue to deliver success to our customers, of course, and the vision of Slack of taking communication out of silos and into channels to deliver on agility, speed, all those sorts of things remains the core focus. So I think it's great to see that we're all that we're all aligned to the fact that we're on the right track. However, there is a huge opportunity to deliver on what we're now calling the Slack First Customer 360. The Customer 360 are the suite of Salesforce products and the world's number one CRM platform, of course. But there's a huge opportunity, and we'll maybe talk a little bit about this later, to accelerate the way that sales teams work, to help sales teams delight their customers, to close tickets faster through better integrations to Service Cloud. And therefore, there's an enormous amount of excitement in our customer base and the Salesforce customer base around us bringing that message to them and helping them realize their future of integrating the Slack way of working into the Slack First Customer 360.
And obviously, this news tends to come out of the US, but you look after the UK business for Slack. So can you give us an idea of what the kind of response has been from customers and partners in the UK?
Yeah, it's been really thoroughly exciting, as you would expect. And one of the great things, of course, is we're now part of a bigger organization with a great deal of mind share, and hence they're opening up all sorts of customer opportunities for us. And I think if we think about the reason that this time is so exciting, we've all become experts at working from home to a large extent. I certainly feel like I've made big strides. We all had to do it at real pace, and I think we should be proud of not just how we've survived in a business context, but how we've really thrived, right? You know, organising this type of session would have taken a little bit more logistics than the way we're doing it right now. The same with customer meetings, and hence organisations have been much more productive. But we're now embarking on a journey into a hybrid way of working, and none of us have ever done that before. And frankly, I think it's a little bit more thought-provoking. How do we run meetings like this if 6 of us are in the same room together? You know, how do we not have proximity bias when our teams are going to be distributed all over the country or all over the world? So I think 70% of employees believe that the pandemic has forever changed the way that we work. And hence, not only are we in a time where Salesforce customers are very excited about the future of the Slack First Customer 360, but they also recognize that to be productive in the future, we need to enable our employees to be successful from anywhere. And to do that, we need a digital HQ to really empower that success. So I think we are fueled by some really big kind of macro trends, which are very exciting from our point of view, which is somewhat supplemented by the Slack First Customer 360, and hence it's a vibrant set of discussions for us right now.
And Slack recently took part in the big Salesforce event, Dreamforce. You had a few platform updates there and some really interesting features come out. One in particular was Clips, an asynchronous form of communication. And that's a term that I think we've all been talking about a lot more as we've gone through this year. Can you kind of talk through the rationale of Clips and why asynchronous communication is going to play such an important part in our collaboration moving forward?
And it's not unrelated to this concept of hybrid working, that I think we're all comfortable with the terminology, but how each organization really implements it is maybe somewhat up for a bit more head scratching in some areas. And there was a lot of thinking then about, will we ever go back? To what extent will we go back? And we ran some pulse surveys as part of Future Forum, which is a think tank, if you like, that we're part of, which told us that 76% of employees really want more flexibility as to where they work. But as I guess these surveys have matured, and as I guess we've all been thinking about what does the future of work look like for employees, we've evolved those surveys a little bit, and actually quite strikingly, more of us, 93%, want more flexibility as to when that we work. And we really had this, didn't we, when the schools were closed? We were walking dogs, caring for loved ones, doing homework with our children. And I think that really gave us an opportunity to think about as an organization that's about delivering on the vision of a digital HQ, think about how can we help create a situation where we're not stuck on Zoom calls all day, every day, where we can create a greater sense of agility, where meetings can happen without trying to schedule 8 people's diaries, and therefore we can have a bit of serendipity or spontaneity or agility maybe into our day. And I guess we looked at the consumer web and what's been going on there, and Slack Clips is not hugely dissimilar from some types of approaches that you can see in some of the big social media platforms. And it essentially means that I or anybody can create an asynchronous meeting using any type of media anytime. So I can record a video, somebody can comment in text, somebody else could add some screen sharing, somebody could add some written format, somebody could add a voice recording, and it enables meetings to happen without having to do all of that scheduling. We get a lot of value from it. We used it just last week for our mid-quarter 3 EMEA Awards, where at 9 o'clock, in fact, I didn't even post it at 9 o'clock. We agreed at the start at 9 o'clock, and I used a new feature. I hope you don't mind me squeezing it in, Tom, scheduled sending, which, so I recorded it late one night, tragically, but nonetheless true. It then auto posted on whatever day it was at 9 o'clock, and then everybody started to chime in. So it's great for stand-ups. It's great for announcements. To be frankly, it's anything that doesn't need a real-time decision. It's really good for.
It's amazing how those little features can make such a difference to how we work, isn't it? It doesn't sound like a big deal scheduled sending, but it freed you up to kind of do it when you wanted to do it.
Yeah, it does, and it absolutely goes back to the concept of asynchronous working, but more, which is really flexibility. I think. Well, is it? It's partly enables flexibility because I could be walking a dog while somebody else is hosting a meeting, and I can chime in later. But it also, I think, takes away some of that scheduling pain. And we built it off the back, maybe not off the back of, but it was. I guess we were helped on our way with a piece of capability that we released not long beforehand called Huddles, or Slack Huddles, which is the fastest growing piece of functionality that we've ever launched, I believe. The goal of that is slightly different. It's to try to, well, first of all, what is it? It's a very lightweight audio first way of communicating. And in a Slack channel, I can start a huddle, and it's almost like an almost on call. The business problem that it's looking to solve is a fewfold. One is really simple. We don't always have to be on video all the time, and it's the cognitive load associated with that and those sorts of things. But also what we are missing in a hybrid world, and even more so in a remote world, is those kind of serendipitous water cooler conversations where we bump into somebody and Tom tells me what you've been up to and those sorts of things. So we have a channel internally called LUN, stands for London, which is essentially for any UK employee. And once a week for an hour, I fire up a huddle, and if nobody joins, no problem. If 30 people join, equally no problem. It's just a place where we can chat and have kind of lightweight audio first conversations. And it's been quite exciting to see how quickly that's grown both internally and indeed with our customers.
Okay, then my final question for you, Stuart. It's going to be, I'm sure, a massive year next year for Slack, the first full year with Salesforce, and I'm sure there's a lot in the pipeline. Could you maybe give us some clues about what you expect to see as some of the big trends next year, and also what we can expect to see from Slack?
I think our job is going to be obviously to continue, and I know I've probably said something like this to you before, Tom. Our job is, of course, to continue to make our customers really successful, and that's what we'll be doing in the UK. And I think we're lucky to have such a breadth of customers in all sorts of areas, from financial services like HSBC, from central government organisations, and forward-thinking tech organisations like Ocado, Deliveroo, etc. That's our job. But I think where we're going to start to put more and more emphasis is, of course, delivering on the announcements from Dreamforce around kind of executing more and more, or delivering deeper and deeper capability around the Slack first Customer 360. How do we enable sales teams to close deals faster with more integrations? How do we enable sales organizations to delight their customers with Slack Connect? And actually, we launched something at Dreamforce so that you can now invite customers to Slack Connect who are not already paying Slack customers, which is really exciting. How can we enable service teams to do, I guess, a couple of things? First of all, connect to experts more quickly. to take case swarming to a new level. That's really, I think, going to be my primary focus, bringing that to our customers to help customers that are using Slack and Salesforce deliver greater agility, speed around how they sell, service, market, and those sorts of things, Tom.
Stuart, it's been great to have you on again, and I hope we can speak again in the not too distant future.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for having me, Tom.
And thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a share on social media, and we'll see you next time.